What about your family? Your kids?
My kids.
Yeah.
Linda,
Mhm.
my other daughter, she lives in Arizona, and she's married to, well, they were married young, but he is a warden of a federal penitentiary,
Ooh.
and they've lived all over the United States.
Okay.
Pennsylvania, right now he's in Arizona at a prison.
Okay.
I guess there's 2 prisons where he is right now, but they've traveled all the time. She has her master's degree in social work, but they've moved so much that she's really never taken a full-time job any place, and she has 3 kids
Okay.
and grandchildren now.
Okay. So you raised the kids where? Where was your family raised?
Oh, where was I raised?
No, Linda.
Linda and Susie. Well, where all did you live, Linda? First, she was born when I lived in Canton area.
Okay.
But she was born in Cambridge. We were still in Cambridge, and Sam was working there as a speech and hearing therapist. And then I got a job in the county, and we had a babysitter that came to the house every day and stayed with Linda. Then
You were mad that we were due in December, but we were born in January, the very first week of January, and you missed the tax deduction.
That's right. Both of them were born the first week of January.
Ah.
Even though we were due in December. They
Yeah,
planned
well,
that, so she'd take the spring
I always held
semester
it-
off, and have half
I
a year
held-
off, and then the summer.
I held it against them forever, trying to pay them back.
Yeah.
And then Susie was born you were born in Cambridge, then Susie was born right outside of Canton.
Why
Well,
why'd
the
you move to
hospital.
Canton? What was the reason to move from Cambridge to Canton?
Sam had a brother that was a music teacher in Canton.
Okay.
So he thought it would be nice maybe to move to Canton because he and his brother were real close.
Okay.
So he applied in Canton and got a job as a speech and hearing therapist in Canton. That's where he ended up teaching.
Okay.
Then we both retired. I think I was fit. I
That was
taught
fast.
31 and a half years, and Sam probably meant the same. And then we both retired. We both learned to play golf.
What year did you retire?
I retired I have to stop and think. I was 59 years old, so what year would that have been?
I think it was
stop.
81.
81, yeah.
Okay.
And,
Year before Nate
and
was
then
born.
I enjoyed that so much that Sam retired the next year. And then we decided we'd have to go south, someplace to play golf in the winter. So we started out and we were really in Georgia, but someone we met there, they told us we should go to Alabama. We would love this state park in Alabama. And it was an old, where we moved. So we went there and had an interview at the lodge there, and they had houses for fishermen. This was a fishing resort. So they would rent to us like starting in November or something, but we'd have to get out there by the end of March if we rented a house.
Okay.
And this was what would you say? All the house, we lived right there at the park, and I had a cabin. And then the town that we went into was one of these antebellum towns where they had all these beaut old houses from the Civil War. The churches, you'd go to church and they were all before the Civil War. It was really an interesting town. Well, we went there, and we were there for several years, and then friends of ours, they came and they rented the other part. Then after a while, the people in Caddis, where people in Kent that we knew, they found out about it, and they came down there too. And then when Susie finally moved to, where did she move to? Arizona. Then we decided, there were golf courses not too far from her. So after we'd gone to Alabama for 12 years, we went to Arizona.
Okay.
We only went there for just a few years, and we bought a little house. And then when we went home, we were going to go there all the time. But then the next year, after we'd been there about 3 years, Sam died. So I sold that house because in the meantime, Susie and Jeff had moved out. They had moved out of Arizona. I don't know, back to Pennsylvania, where they were, but anyway, they moved constantly.
Yeah. Okay.
So then I stayed at home since then.
Stayed at home
In Canton.
In Canton.
I just
Okay.
stayed, North Canton, I
Okay.
stayed there.